Hello everyone, my name is Halvi. In this video we're going to be looking at the lore behind the bosses in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. The first two bosses, Boyd and Greil, are sparring with Ike in the prologue. Boyd is the middle child of his family. His mother abandoned him and then his father passed away shortly after. He joined the Greil mercenaries to support his younger brother Rolf and fight alongside his older brother Oscar. Greil is originally from Dayan. He fled his homeland and lived a peaceful life in Gallia, where Ike and Mist were born. One day, tragedy struck, forcing him to run away yet again. He then founded the Greil mercenaries and made a living performing tasks for villages in Crimea. The next two bosses are bandits. Zawana leads a group of bandits attacking a village. Ikanau is a bandit from the same group as Zawana. He kidnaps Mist and Rolf to lure out Titania for revenge. The next boss, Havetti, is a pirate that is intimidating villagers of Talma into giving him money and supplies. He has a history with Mackoya, in which Mackoya tried to cheat at gambling with members of Havetti's crew. Mackoya was then thrown overboard. These next six bosses are all members of Dayan's army. Maijin is a knight that is patrolling the roadside of Crimea. Dakova is a general tasked with taking Lincia from the Greil mercenaries. Emil is a soldier under Petrine who tries to stop the Greil mercenaries. Balmer is another underling of Petrine. He is sent to face the rest of the Greil mercenaries while Petrine faces Greil alone. Kamura is a knight who ambushes the fortress the Greil mercenaries are guarding at the time. Kotaff is a general of Dayan who is very racist towards Laguz. Then we have a mid-boss named Nedata, who is somewhat of an honorable pirate who prefers to fight worthy opponents for his wealth. These next two bosses are members of Dayan's army. Danomill is a commander of a Dayan prison. He's very cruel and likes torture. Mackoya is a general and a subordinate of the Black Knight who guards Crimea's coastal region. Seeker is one of Nesala's soldiers. The Raven tribe act as pirates, attacking random ships that they find out at sea. Norris is a Dayan officer in pursuit of Valencia as she is escaping to Benyon. Gashilama is a peddler of Laguz slaves, and Mackoya owes this guy money. Muarim is a former slave and a father figure to Tormod. He fights to free Laguz slaves. At first he is labeled as a bandit and Ike is forced to fight him. It is then later revealed that Soniki was trying to expose the senator's crimes of Laguz slavery, and Ike was sent to make contact with the Laguz Emancipation Army. These next two bosses go hand in hand. Kimaarsi is a guard in charge of keeping Oliver's mansion secured. Then Oliver is a senior member of the Benyon Senate who was involved in the Laguz slave trade. He purchases raisin from Nesala for a huge sum of money. The next five bosses are all part of Dayan's army. Kayachey is a Dayan officer under Petrine who commands the Dayan border fortress Torgaren. Homasa was taught swordplay by his father and follows the path of the sword. He was ordered by Petrine to stop Crimea's army from advancing with the help of the Raven tribe. Shiharam is Jill's father, and along with Har, he left the Benyon Sacred Knights because of the corruption of the Senate. Then, under Dayan's rule, he had to organize Laguz hunts against his own will, and under Petrine's command, he is ordered to flood Talrega, his own territory, to halt the Crimean army. Kasatai is a general of Dayan and a subordinate of Petrine. Ina is a red dragon from Goldoa who acts as a personal tactician to Petrine for most of the game. She is ordered to fight the Crimean army at Dayan Keep. She is with the Dayan army because of a strong desire to return to an unknown individual's side. Schaeffer is a gangster boss who has taken over the Palmeni Temple. He was previously allied with Dayan. Petrine is one of Dayan's 4 riders. She is branded from Tiger heritage, meaning that she has the blood of both Bjork and Laguz in her ancestry. She pursues the Greil mercenaries during their flight to Gallia with Valencia. She is very racist towards Laguz. Rikard is a Dayan officer who is obsessed with obtaining glory and fame. Gromell, another Dayan officer, leads soldiers to use rock slides in order to stop the Crimean army advance. Bertram is one of Dayan's 4 riders. He always wears armor and never shows his face. He appeared after the fall of Crimea, and he quickly gained Ashnard's favor. Hafedd is a Dayan general who enjoys fighting worthy adversaries. The Black Knight is one of Dayan's 4 riders. He always wears his armor and never shows his face. He was once Greil's student, and then he comes back and kills Greil as a way of surpassing his mentor. Later into the game, he kidnaps Leanne at Ashnard's request, and throughout the game, he takes an interest in Ike's abilities, leading to their duel in Nato's castle, where he is defeated by Ike. Heddwyn is a general in the Dayan army who guards the Gritnia Tower. In this tower is where the Pharaoh 1 experiments are conducted. It is also where Leanne is being held after she is kidnapped by the Black Knight. Bryce is one of the old legendary 4 riders and one of Ashnard's 4 riders. He is old friends with Greil and extremely loyal to Dayan. Ashnard, known as the Mad King, is the 13th king of Dayan. Before he was king, he was a great warrior. However, there was a long list of relatives that stood in his way for the throne. So, he killed them all. And he also killed his own father, so that he could gain the throne. He strongly believes that strength should dictate authority. His wyvern was the warped form of the dragon prince Rajayon of Goldoa, who was also Ina's fiance, thus her reasoning for siding with Dayan in this war. Ashnard's armor was blessed by the goddess and given to him by the Black Knight. He wages war on Crimea in an effort to engulf the entire continent of Tellius into a war. He wants to get his hands on Leiron's medallion so that he can release the chaos inside of it to create his ideal world where strength rules all. And with all that said, this is now the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.